Okay, good afternoon, good evening, ladies in tech. Good evening, Love Talk with Kadash. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, good evening. So, if you're in the afternoon, say good afternoon. If you're in the morning, peradventure, or probably say good morning. And then, if you're in the evening, just like I am, say good evening. All right. Good. Hello, Victoria Babadara. Good evening. Madam Shakirat. Good evening. My day went well and trust yours as well. Good evening. Good evening, Ijioma. Good evening. Mr. Fatima is a Professor TD. Good evening, Madam Fatima. Good evening. Evening, morning, and afternoon. Good. I like that. Evening, morning, and afternoon. Good. Yes, Matters Samaluko. That's my wonderful class. How do I call it now? Good evening, Matters Samaluko. Good evening, Prof. Good evening, everyone. Yes. All right. I trust we are ready for what is we are about to do tonight because trust me, tonight is going to be some sort of amazing moment again, and you don't want to miss it. You don't. You don't want to miss it. All right. If you have one or two persons that probably are not on this call yet, well, maybe you might want to help them or be of good. What's it called? To them, and then just get them to know that the class has begun already. All right. So I need one or two persons who will tell us where we stopped at the last class, and then how was it for us? Yes, where did we stop at the last class? Just a moment. Where did we stop at the last class? Measures. Okay. Creating measures. Good. Good. Creating measures. Okay. Good. All right. Let me ask this question. Does anybody here remember we created a conditional column and then its usage? Conditional column and its usage. Anybody? Does anybody remember that? Just say yes if you do, just say no if you don't. Oh, great. Yes, great, great. Yes, yes. Okay. Now, tonight, what we're going to be doing, just like I mentioned at the last time, I will start with the measures where we stopped at the last class. I will do uh, how measures is created again, and then we will look at some visualizations, of course, right? So we'll do some visualization and we will see how we can bring in some sort of visualization, say for map data. If you have a map data, how can you bring up your map? You want your map to show, right? So in one of the classes I sections I had some times ago, I also asked that the student fill a particular form that I want to know what the expectation was for that particular course. And then while they were in class, I was able to pull up a visualization to see what the height of everyone in that class looks like. So maybe next class I could just show us one or two things around that. Anyways, maybe at the next class anyway. So from now to the end of this, we're in the last phase of the teaching anyway. So from now till I believe everybody has a hands on the assignment and of course the project documentation. All right. So let me also ask if you have access to the project file. I am not very sure that has been uploaded, but let me know if that has also been shared. Then that's fantastic. All right. So we can continue. Oh, great. Thank you. I share right away so that we can. Good. I can see. Okay. So, okay, good. We're fine now. Now, this is where we stopped. And then I'm going to just do one or two things to show us how the measures looks like. I said the last time that when I was talking about measure, that for you to actually have measures, what does it mean? So measure is when you are trying to look for a single value that summarizes a particular column, an entire column, such that you don't want that value cannot be split on the table, but that same value you want to have it somewhere on your either your visualization or on your table, as the case may be. So what it means is that you want to convert a particular value to say, okay, this value, we don't want to have it, maybe we want to have it on the table, but it is not something that that will replicate on each part of the table, but then it will be somewhere hidden on the table, such that when you need to probably call it for visuals or visualization, you are able to just bring it up. That is measures. So, but then as against measure is when you have your dimensions to say, okay, dimensions are values that you can now use a conditional colon for to say that if this is this, then fill this, put this. So that means the difference between measures and the conditional columns is that the conditional column will definitely return a value for each of your rows in the column. I don't know whether that makes sense. So it means that each of the deadline for assignment submission is Monday 5 a.m. for those asking. Are you sure it's 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. you need to say? Or maybe you check your time zone to be sure the time zone is correct by you. I don't think this was 5 a.m. All right. So now what we are saying is this: if you have the column and then you want to establish all you have such that thank you, King Besidon, 12 p.m. Yes, I'm sure it's 12 p.m. So for that person that said 5 again, Giwa, please check your settings to be sure your time zone is correct. If you are in a put wherever you are, time and time, please. That's very important. For you to put 5 a.m., that means your time zone is not correct. All right. So now, last week, I think there was a particular data we used for measure. Does anybody remember that data? Let me see. Don't forget, you are supposed to return your assignment, turn in your assignment. Yes, Madam Fumbi Ayandoku, good evening, all the way from Abuja. So for those of us that are having, what's it called now, our little meetup centers, we already have a plan, and then you will be getting updates soon. Don't worry, you'll be getting some updates from us soon. Okay, so it was a little class data, right? When we cleaned this particular data, and then all right, so I remember we created a measures with what to get the total average of all the years of birth, right? We did a measure to calculate the average of all the years. And I remember I told us that you cannot find, or you cannot, it's not possible for you to get the average of all the years together and then have it splitted over each of the rows, right? You remember that, right? So what that means is this, just a moment, please. What that means is that you will have to what that means is you will have to put it somewhere on the table where you can make reference to it. Does that make sense? So let's do that again so that everybody can follow. I just did it to show us the last time, but then tonight I'm going to show us, because we are going to work with a particular data today that will do a project run through. All right, that will do a project run through from start to finish, which will be which will be some sort of guide for you in your own project work. So why we are running this, because for your project document that you have already, some people I believe people are already going through it, and then they know what they want to do. So Maybe also in the next class, I will also use maybe a demo data. And okay, what I will do is this. This is what I will do. So this is what I will do. I will share I will share probably while in class next week, while on class that Monday, while we are on class that Monday, or Tuesday rather, permit me, forgive me. So I will share a link with us, and then while we are in class, we will upload that same link. We will upload that same link, and then you will see how we can use real-time data to populate our data as well. So maybe I believe my TAs will help me take note of that so that I don't forget. So we can make use of that real-time data on Tuesday for our class. Now, let's go to creating our measures. Now, how can we create measures? Let's come back to visuals. And then we worked on liter class data, right? And I said if you want to create measure, now click on that particular table. For the table you want to work with, right? For the table you want to work with, click on the table. Now, if you click on the table, now you see that I'm clicking on the table. Did you see table tools? Table tools here. Table tools highlighted here because I am already clicking on a particular table. And then what do I want to do with that table? Now, and it's telling me that the name of the table I'm clicking on is what? Liter class data. Now, look at this place. Did you see new measures, quick measures, new column, and new table? Now, what does this mean? What this means is that if I want to create a new table inside liter class table, are you paying attention, guys? Other one for there is also a data that is attached to that project documentation. Okay, so you might need to just check. Then the submission date will be fixed after this. After we are done with this particular project run through, we are going to run through a particular project. And let me tell you the implication of this project you are running through. You remember everybody has a GitHub, a portfolio that they have built here. So the major yardstick for you is that everything you are able to build from this project, this number one, this class run through, you are going to populate it on that project. Number two, your project, that is your capstone project, you are also going to populate it on your dashboard because that is where you will be able to tell us the documentation of all you are doing. And that is why you will not have excuse to tell us that you did not receive the data on time. Now you have all that, so your documentation should be going on steady now, so that you can be adding them on your portfolio little by little. What we expect from you when you are submitting your project is your portfolio link. So we are going to review your portfolio link, and then based on that, we'll know people that will be what? Ready to take up some interesting mentorship based on how excellent or how they perform in the what's it called now? In the on the assignment. I hope that makes sense, right? Okay, good. All right. So that is that about that. Now, what I'm saying is let me say it again so that people can understand. In this class, from tonight, now we are going to start. We work with a particular project run through. We run through a particular project and we'll start it and we'll finish it. So that project, just as we are doing it in this class, you will do the same. So your documentation for the project, you will come up with it and populate it on your portfolio, right? And after that, that is one. Two, you will now have another project, which is your capstone project. You know, somebody is saying that data want to kill us. You are in for something very important. And if you are raising ladies in tech, we are very deliberate about it. We are such we want to see after this training ladies doing some sort of wonderful things, right, in different places. I saw a post of one of our students, right? I think from this class as well. Yes, from this class said, well, Lita has the best facilitators. I don't agree with you, Les, because I saw the presentation of maybe product design. Yes, product design guys, and I was so elated. Like I felt very, very proud of what is going down. So I can't wait to see what you guys are gonna do, right? And then ID, that is Mr. Mushin, cannot wait. Mr. Femi also, Femi Ayodele cannot also wait, and then we cannot wait. All right, so now let's continue. So now that I've clicked on the liter class data, you see now new. So that means if I want to create a new table inside that table, I will click on this new table, and then whatever I'm typing goes inside that table. I hope that makes sense. Now, if you are following me, let me know at the comment section that makes sense. Aside the Power BI assignment, you have two projects. The capstone project and this class project. This is titled class project. Then the other one is titled the capstone project. All right, thank you. Now, thank you guys for following. Yes, so that is the new table. Now, the new column is if you need to create a new column inside the table, right? You click on the new column and then you specify the condition where you want to create or why you want to create it. Do you understand? Some of those conditions are what we call analytic expressions. Analysis expressions. You remember now, DAX expressions. So those are then what you see here is what new measure or quick measure. And that is what we want to do tonight. So I'm clicking on this table and then I click on what new measure. Alternatively, if I am not clicking on this new measure here, you will come to this. Please, can you face and leave every other question now so that you won't miss out on any step, and then you will come back and say that you don't get this particular part. Fumbi and Yodoku. So you do not have the LMS. You've been filling the form as well. Okay. You know what you do personally? Just reach out to the TA. The TA will reach out to me personally, and then I will get that solved for you. You know, I've seen your persistence and consistency, so I can always vouch for that. So don't worry, that will be solved. So send her your full name, your email address, and what other thing now? Your name, your full name, your email address, and of course your course. All right, and then you will get an invitation before the next class. All right. So now look at this. So alternatively, if you don't want to do that from here, you can also come to this table. You see this table? There's one three dots immediately after it. If you click on it, you will see what? New measure. Can you see all those things that you actually see on that table here? You can find them somewhere around here as well. Do you understand that? All right. So currently, we are working with liter class data. So we want to create new measure. So I've clicked on my new measure now, and my new measure is we want to get the average of all the age in the age group. So what do we call this? We will name it. You will name your measure whatever you want to name it, right? Whatever you name it, you want to say average age, right? Or average YOB, right? I remember that was what we gave it last time. Average YOB, right? Equals what? Then average. So by the time you type average, you will see that the function pops up itself, right? You see that the function pops up, and then you now look for what exactly did you want to call. That is year of birth. And can you see that now? And then you click it, you close the bracket. Then you press what? Enter. Now, you allow it load just like it's loading here. Look at your liter class table now, liter class data. If you look at somewhere around here, you will see what? Average YOB. Now, notice this. In front of that liter YOB, you see something that looks like a calculator, right? That is actually showing that it is a measured value and that it is not a what? A calculated column. It is a measured value. So if it's a calculated column can be summarized such as this. You will see something like this summation sign in front of it. But this is a measure showing you that you have some measures in your what? In your project. So these are some of the things we want to see in your capstone project. All right. These are some of the things we want to see in your capstone project. All right. So now that we have been able to bring average year of birth out, if there is a need for us to actually bring this out as part of our visualization, maybe we need to show it as part of our visualizations. So what do we do, right? What do we do? So what we are going to do is this.
you come to your visualization pane. Please pay attention, guys. You come to your visualization pane, and then anytime you want to listen now, anytime you want to, we are gradually entering into visualization now because I'm taking DAX functions with visualization. So I'm mixing the two together, and then we are going to do a project run through, and then wherever we are able to get to tonight, we'll continue next week when we are going to put an end to this, and then you can have some time to run your project. I hope that makes sense now. Now, I will speak to us on this generally at a very I don't want to enter visualization proper. Now, but anytime you want to get a value, a particular value that has to do with like a number, a a summarized value. I mean, like maybe the total number of participants in a place, you want to get it as a value. What are those things you use? You come to under your gauge, card, and KPI. Did you see them here? Then in front of it, did you see card? The visualization tool you will use is your card. I take that again. Anytime you want to carry out a visualization that is asking for a summarized data from your column, what you need to use as your visualization pan or from your visualization pan is the card. What does the card do? Now, the card will show you the value that you have on your table. For instance, now, we just calculated the year of birth using the measures, right? That year of birth has a value, right? But how can we see that value? All right. You say my screen. What happened to my screen? I've not even done anything, and you're already complaining you can't see my screen. What am I doing with my screen? I'm only explaining. Can you just pay attention and don't distract every other person and even yourself? Right? So what that does is that you want to see the value you are calling. So if you don't do that, it will be difficult for you to see the value you are calling. I hope that makes sense now. Now, take for instance, now I want to see the average year of birth, which we have here. So what I do is this. Let me create a new sheet. I am not I'm not mansing my page. I can create as many as right. So now I come here, then I bring out my what? My card, right? Can you see now? So my card is here. All right. Can you see my card here now? Now he's now asking me, did you see this? This is what we call my visualization pan, which is what build a visual. What does this do? What this does for me is that from here, he's asking me that I should pick the field from my data. I should pick the field from my data. Anytime you are working or you want to do a visualization, two things you will see most likely. Two things you will see. Number one, thank you, Adeyo Sola Timothy. Two things you will see is this build your visual, and the second one is format your visual, which is this that is not highlighted now because we are not formatting any visuals currently. I hope that makes sense. Because we are not formatting any visual currently, so you might not see that up. But because we are building a visual currently, you will see this up. Now, if we are building a visual, where are we going to pick our data from? Just click on add data and then you will see all your tables. All right. Now, from my table, where am I going to? I'm going to liter class data, right? You click on liter class data and then it will open it for you. And then you select the value you want. And immediately I selected the value I wanted. You see what happened now. So I had my what? I have my value as what? 1.99K. That is what? The average what? YOB. Are we together, please? How many of us are still following? How many of us are still following? Thank you. Thank you, Shakurat. Yeah. Yours is showing 2.00K, Fatima. Okay, that's good. So what happened is that it has summarized the value, and I will tell you why that happened very shortly. Okay, good. Yes, you got Okola Kemi also got 2K. Okay, you have 2K. So if you have 2K, if you have whatever, okay, so depending on the values that you have, actually, I guess that is why we're having different values. You know, I just gave us arbitrary values. There were no particular values that we use, right? So that was why we had that. Now, look at this. If we say the average year is 1.99K, how are we going to, how are we sure this is communicating? No, this is not communicating in the real sense. So that means we need to do some or perform some other actions on it. So the first thing is when you have built your visuals, you need to also format your visuals. That is where these other format visuals come up. Did you see that button below the build your visuals? This is your build your visuals. And the second one here is your, so if you click on it, immediately you see what? Add to your visual. So what did you want to add to your visual? So the first thing, guys, you want to do to your visual is you want to remove this average YOB because we have a title name we are going to be giving. So if you want to remove this, this is what we call your category label. And you can see that your category label here is what? Is checked, right? Your category label is checked. So what do? Uncheck it, and then you see that take off already. Did you notice that already? So your category label is taken off because you uncheck it. Now come to what? More options. When you click on more options, look at your visualization pane here. You see what? A format mini window open here. A format mini window open here. Now, guys, listen. Everything that will make your report beautiful is done here. I say that again. Everything that will make your report beautiful is achieved here. I will just do a bit of that for us here, but I will leave you guys to explore to the fullest. I mean, you need to explore it to the fullest. Say, for instance, if I want to have a particular shape of my visualization, I want it to have some sort of shapes, this is where I can do it. If I want to change my font, either the color or the, you know, I have a black background and everything is looking black now. This is where I'm going to do it. So let's start from maybe the first part here. This first part is talking about the size and position. Now look at the size I have currently. I can adjust this size. I can say I want maybe 180 by 2, whatever. Did you see that now? That size has been what? Adjusted. So you can actually have a fixed adjustment to that size. Say you want to create so many, and then you have this one here, and then so say Control C and Control V, and then you have something else here, you know, something like that, right? Now, let's move on. So that is what size, and so that is size and position. You can also do some sort of padding. Now, what does padding mean? Padding is, look at this, your words, the words of this, your visualization. You can make it thicker and you can make it bolder. So did you see this? So you can increase the padding, and you can also give it some sort of colors, right? Background. If you notice, my background is what? Is black because I have it color black. So can I change the background? Did you see what I just did? I just changed my color background. I can add some sort of transparency, and then it's looking better somehow. Maybe I don't want it to just be all, okay, let me look for a color that is close to liter here. So maybe we can build something around liter. More colors. Okay, let's do something around here. All right, let's assume this is what we have now. Pink, right? Good. So now, then we have been able to work with background. Let's assume. Now, the next is shadow. Do I want to add some shadow to it? Turn the shadow on, and then if you look at it, you see that there are shadows all around my visualizations, right? Did you notice it? All of this, you will still go and explore yourself. What color do I want to give my shadow? Do I want to, let me make it some like very contrast so that you'll be able to see or notice the color very well. Did you see that? So you can do, then the position of the shadow, you can also tell where you want the shadow to be. And if you don't want the shadow at all, you can just turn the shadow off here. All right. Then visual border. Now look at this. Pay attention to this now. Visual border is Okay, can I recap the way I remove the text in the box? Okay. I remember that. That's category label. Fatima, category label. Now, this is what you will do. When you come to your format toolbar here, click on your format toolbar. Once you click on it, the first thing you will see is category label. You see that my own is unchecked. If I check it again, I will see that it is what? It is now back now. The color is now back. However, you can also see it somewhere here. You can also see it somewhere here. Did you understand? Category label. Okay. So sorry, I think I was out just for a few moments and then I'm back. Please confirm you can hear me clearly. Can you please confirm you can hear me clearly now? Can anybody confirm at the comment section that they can hear me clearly? I need responses actually. All right, so I believe everybody can hear me. All right, let's continue. Just a moment. I think I need to. My live chat is not showing those messages again, and I need to see what is going on at the comment section. Just a moment, please. Okay. Okay, good. Good. All right, thank you. I think we're back now. We're fine. So let me share my screen again. So sorry, we are out just for a moment and then we're back. All right. So let's have the screen up now, guys. Thank you. All right. So I was saying that I believe Fatima has seen how we remove the category label now. I'm sure you must have done that. You must have seen that. Now let's get back to what we're doing. Now I said visual border. Yes, look at this visual border. If you turn the visual border on, what it means is that look at this, the edges of all your visual, the edges of all your visuals. How does it look like and what do you want to do with it? Let's say I want to give my edges a particular color, let's say blue color, and then I want to make what rounded corners. Then I turn this on to 30. Now, did you notice something now? Look at the way my border is now. I mean the average year of this in the box. You mean how did I get that value in itself? What we used was measure. What we used was measure. And I've done that at the last class. And I also repeated it today. So if you miss that part, I think you should just pay attention, maybe watch later, and then you can see it. I can't go back all that way again. That is a bit far. Else, we wouldn't be able to do so much tonight. It's already some minutes to break now, and then we have not really done anything. Okay. Now, so now look at it. Now I've been able to do some, what's it called now? See the way my visual looks like now. And let's say I want to also do some cleaning, or I want to, now there's one more important thing. If you look down here, let me close the visual border now. Close the shadow. You see title. Turn on your title, and then you can now open it and then put a title to it. What title do you want to give this? Average year of birth, right? Average year of birth. And then you can also do some change the font, right? You can bold, you can increase the size. You know, this is soft work, right? You can also italicize, you can even align it to the center. And then let me look for a text color. You can change the text color. Let me do something like this. You see that? So you can have something like that, and then what other thing can you do with that? So now, the next thing we want to now look at is our value, the call out value. So this call out value is this value in here, this value in here. Now, this value in here, which is our call out value, we see that the font that is on it is Arial, right? We can as well change the font on it. Let's put this as well. Did you see that? Did you see that? And then you can increase the size if you want it to become bigger. You can also make it bold. Does that make sense? You can as well change the font. You can as well change the font. If you have to, you can also change the font. Let's say you want to have something like this, and then you have it, right? Now, one more important thing you need to pay attention to here is this. Immediately beneath it, did you see your display unit? Your display unit is showing that your value is on auto sum. Your value is on auto sum, and that is why you are having 1.99k, whatever you have, and then it's showing kkk, whatever. Now, what you need to do is just turn it off. Now, this display unit is telling you that your values will come in either thousands, millions, billions, trillions, or what have you. So depending on what you have is what it will assume here. Because this one is in what, thousand, that's why you put what, 1.99k. You know, there are times that all you just need to do is, because you don't want to put out the entire value. Maybe you are talking about money now. You are saying that it's about $1.9 thousand, right? You might leave it like that. But when you are talking about a value like this, average year of birth is a value. And then we cannot understand by just having 1.99k. So just turn it off here and put it as none. Now, what did you see? You see 1988, right? Did you see that? 1988. But then did you see 0.25? Now, average year of birth is not also supposed to have maybe a decimal. So how are we supposed to also adjust that? I hope you guys are paying attention. Please do less of distraction. If you have any issues, only questions should be raised at the comment section. For every other thing, leave it to the end of the section. Thank you, Samaluko. I keep saying this. Samaluko is one of the most consistent person I see in this class, following and always giving me this ginger when I'm asking for responses. Right? So now, Just a moment. Now, so we want to also make sure this is just showing just year. As a matter of fact, we don't even want the comma there. We want to remove the comma because it is supposed to be a what? A year, right? So now let's assume we are done with our. Now see your category label here. If you want to turn it on again, you can see turn it on, but we don't need it. We turn it off. Now let's assume we are done. Then how do we now address this issue now? All you just need to do is what? Come back to your data. Now that's your average year of birth. Click on it. It will pop up the measure tools here. Did you see this? Did you see this table now? Once you click on the table here, click on the table here, it will bring up this value again. Now, once you have it here, you see this comma, turn it off first. Turn it off first. So once you have turned it off first, it will remove it, and then you see the decimal place already also here, and then you want to remove it from 2, take it to 1, and then leave it at 0 completely. And then now you just have what? 1988. Did you see that now? So all my year of birth is now accurate as what? 1988 and not as 1988. Does that make sense? How do you get that format at the right hand side? Good question. Look at your visuals. Did you see this? Your visuals. There are two panes here. The first one is your build visuals. The second one is your format visuals. That is what you need to click, and then it will pop up at the corner here. All right. It might not pop up immediately, but you see where it say more options. Click on these more options, and then it will pop up at the right hand here. Are we learning something good here? Is this making sense? Is it looking like a soft work? Okay, good. Good job, right? Thank you. Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you. I see all of those comments. Thank you. All right. Um, so that is measures. And then we have also used our conditional column, right? We are coming back to do all of this. But when I'm coming back next, I believe I've done like explicitly worked with this. So let's say the remaining time we have, let's go to something more interesting now. I want to quickly show us if you have or if you are dealing with a data that has to do with map, how do you work with it? If you have a data that has to do with what? Map, how do you work with it? So let's see what we can do with it. All right. Does that make sense? Let's see what we can do with it. Just a moment. You know, I muted because of it. All right. So now let's keep this somewhere and then let's go back to guys. Now I gave us a data, some of the data we had that time. There is this HR data as part of our data, right? There's this HR data. So let's go and bring up that HR data. Go and bring up that HR data. Wow. So sorry. I think I've been having some sort of network issues, and then I don't know. I've not had this, but then it is fine. So let's hope we are back now. Okay. All right. So can anybody hear me now? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ruth. Yes, maybe the network is even reaching my side as well, because I'm not sure my class have had this kind of issue in the last maybe 2 weeks. Okay, welcome back. Thank you. So that means you can hear me for you to say welcome back. All right. So anybody remember what I was saying before I left? What was I actually saying before I left? What was I saying before I left? Yes, can we have that up now? Thank you. What was I saying before I left? HR data. Thank you so much. Shakirat. Thank you. Yes, for Larry, you see, bring HR data. Now bring your HR data, just like I have mine here. Then open. Now you notice on your HR data, you have either 2 or 3 data. That's table one. Table one does not really have, okay, it has one or some things, right? HR data is the same thing as your table one. Either you have HR data or table one, and then you have your map data. Did you see that? Your HR data and your map data. Does that make sense? Your HR data and your map data. So check the two and then transform the two tables. Check the two and transform the two tables. Guys, we need to be very fast. We need to be very fast. All right? Check the two and transform the two tables. Now, on your queries here, let's check our HR data. Okay, good. Now let's check our map data now. Our map data. Now, on our map data, can everybody check? Or let me ask you this question, guys. So, how do you check the consistency of your columns in your data? How do you check the consistency? I mean, the how clean your data, your column is. There are 3 views that you might need to apply. There are 3 views. Yes, thank you, Stella. You got my question right. Number 1, column quality. Yes, Utete, Stella. Yes, go to view. Thank you, Olubukola Aziz. Interesting. Yes, Amaluko, column quality. Yes, that is 1. All of you are just saying column quality. No, it's not just column quality now. Column profile, that's cool. Yemi, thank you. Yes, column profile, then extra Joseph, column distribution. Now, can you guys carry out these 3 on your data and see what your data looks like? Check your column quality, check your column profile, and check your column distribution. For your column quality, now you know what you guys will do for me? For your column quality, put the percentage in front, all right? For just states alone, states. Then for the column profile, how many distinct, how many unique? Put it also. Then for your column distribution now, for your column distribution. And then for your column profile, how many counts did you have? 3 things I expect to see. 3 things I expect to see. For your column quality, what is the percentage valid value? For your column distribution, how many distinct value? And then for your column profile, what is the count of your value? Yes, at the comment section. I await your responses. Can you put the 3 together so that I will look at your response? I need the person that has the 3 before I can spotlight any response. I'm waiting. All right, Banjoko, Oyin Consola, 100%, 35, 100% valid, I assume, 35 distinct, and 35 unique. Good. So that is absolutely correct. Yes, Esther, I can see yours as well. Yes, I see that everybody is up now. Good. So that means what data we are working with seems to be a very clean data. Yes or yes? Yes, yes, right? So because I did not give you an option to say no, so you won't say no. So it means it is either yes or it is what? Yes. Right. So let's move on. So since we have been able to do so, what this data is all about is what? Is a map data. Is a what? Is a map data. So what we want to do is this. We want to populate this particular data, or we want to create a visual using the map. So now that our data is clean, what you need to do is what? Close and apply. Does that make sense? Close and apply. Yes, we've done that already. It's loading, 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 loading. Loading and then connected to model. Is that correct? Yes, good. Now, what kind of visuals are we going to bring out for a particular visual like this? What we are going to bring out is what? Under your maps, you will see about 4 different types of maps. Under your map visuals, you see about 4 different. The first one is what? Map. The second one is field map. The third is what? Azure map. And the last one is what? ArcGIS. All right. Depending on what you want to see, all right, depending on what you want to see, you bring that particular what? Data out. So now I want to bring out my map. So I just click on my map. You see my map is up, right? Let me hide this one somewhere here. So let me bring this so that everybody can see what is right here. I'm sure everybody can see this, right? So nobody will have any excuse. All right. Now, look at this. I have my data somewhere here, my map data. Can I go to my map data? Let me go to my map data. Then I open it up. Now, when I open it up, anytime you want to work on your map data, there are a few things you need to pay attention to. What are those things? Number one, you want to talk about locations. Now, at this point, listen, for you to let me state this disclaimer before people start putting what's it called now? Comment at the comment section. If your system is not connected to the internet now, you might not be able to go with us after this moment. All right. If your system is not connected, because what you want to do now is you want to leverage on what's it called now? This GIS to pick geographical locations. Do you understand? You want to pick geographical locations from wherever they are, and then you want to see it right in front of you. So at every point in time, you want to bring the visuals that has to do with map. That means you want to make reference to that location with either the what? The longitude or latitude, right? So that is how to assess it. But just before we do that, what kind of map are we dealing with here? Based on the data that we have, let me click on our data view. Based on the data we have for our map data, what kind of map what did you notice? What kind of map is this? Because I have people from different parts of the world here on this class. But what country map is this? This is geography. Yes, Samaluko, it is geography. Yes, what country map do we have here in front of me? Nigeria. Thank you, Prince Will. Yes, Prince Will is around now. You know, I know some persons, some people, if I see their response, I just know, oh, wow, yes. Yes, Egbiola Esther. Yes, Egbiola Esther is one person that also comment. This is Nigeria. So because of the total number or high demand of people we have in this class, let's say, so that's why we have what? Nigeria map. So now we know that this is Nigeria map. So we expect that in our visual, what we should see should be around what? The map of Nigeria. So let's do this quickly before we go for our break. Now, look at this. On my map, I have about 5 elements, which is what? Latitude, longitude, population in 2006, population in 2019, and then states, right? So just click, listen, let me show you the soft work. Just click on this state, click and drag and drop it on your map. Click and drag and drop it on your map. Did you see a magic that happened? That magic that happened will not happen if your system is not connected. But if your system is connected and you are having this issue, just let me know at the comment section. Say, wow, magic indeed. I will not respond to Rebecca Ogunjobi's question asking, can map work without internet? I will not respond to that question. But then, just for you to know, I saw the question. Okay, Shakirat, my system is connected but still not showing this. Good. So those are the issues I want to resolve now. My system is connected but having issues. Good. These are the issues I want to resolve because it's break time. But then let me quickly resolve these issues and then we can go on break. Let's quickly resolve this. For those people that have comfort Akonge, you are having maps and feed visuals are disabled. Now listen, let me resolve that issue very quickly and then we'll come back, go on break. Come to your file, come to your file, go to your options and settings, your file, go to your options and settings. Are we together? File, options and settings, go to your options, go to your options. Are you in your options now? Then go to security, security. Did you see security here? Click on security. Then did you see custom visuals? Show security on ArcGIS for Power BI, tick it, maps and field map, then tick it. Because most of you have it unchecked by default. So now have it checked. Yours is not showing. For those of you that saying is not showing, all right, at Keyboard, I have shown you the solution. Go and activate or enable your ArcGIS for Power BI and the maps and field. Then once you have done that, rather, just click OK. By now, your map should show if your internet is connected. If not, save your work, shut down the Power BI, and then restart it. If it's not showing yet, save your work, close the application, the Power BI, and then restart it. It will come up by default. Do I have anybody who has a map shown on their? Okay, good. Omojola Ayomi. Do I have anybody who have their map just the way I have mine? Oh, great. Oyiloye, it's showing now. Cool. I like that. Thank you, Abiola Agbola. She has just put the settings, the what we need to do for us. So go to settings and options to set it up. Once you do this, delete the previous map and call up a new map. Well, either you delete it or you do this in issue. Now I have it now. Thank you, guys. So when we come back from break, we will continue what we do. Yes, Shakira, to restart your BI, and then you'll see the miracle or the magic that we have been seeing here with our what. Thank you, guys. See you back in the next few minutes after we come back from break. Thank you. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back from break. So, how many of us are back from the break? How many of us are back from the break? Let me see how many of us are back from the break. Back, back, back. Good. Oh, never left. I like that. Never left. Okay, so how many of us have the map visuals up now? If you have your map visuals up now, say I have it. Let me see. I have it. I have it. I like the way some people are just following back to back tonight. You know, you can't afford to miss it actually. Just a moment, please. All right. Yes, your map is not showing. Temitope Megba. Why is your map not showing? All right, all right, all right. Yes, let me see. How many of us have it now? Yegba Winifred. Have you enabled your maps? Okay, finally my map is up now. Good, 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 good. No network at your place. Hey, yeah, enjoy. Oh, good, good, great. I think I have more number shows that their map is up now. So now, what does this mean? This is just basically showing us the map of this 36 states where in Nigeria, including FCT. All right. So this is what this map typically is showing us. However, are there times you want to see beyond what or the number of states? In fact, as a matter of fact, I want to let's quickly do something. Should I just ask us do it? Let me save my time because we still have quite a number of things to do. I wanted us to do something before by creating our own column, but then because of time, let's continue. Now, you see that this is showing. Now, if what table I have and the Lord has done it finally, should we respond to Sudan with you? Patrick, Olubumi, finally, yes. Winifred, what's the problem? Don't give up, right? What's the problem? What exactly is the challenge? Don't give up. Now, if we are dealing with maps that comes from different part of the country, you will see the map of Africa. All right. Just like now that we have the map of Nigeria, what you will see is what? The map of Africa. You can see that even from, can you see now? Can you see? But just because all those dots are the plots showing that the map we are making reference to is the map of Nigeria. Somebody will ask that, how am I doing it? Just zoom in and zoom out, and then you'll be able to see what I'm doing. If you are using mouse, you can just scroll it up, and then if your what's it called, your onboard, your screen mouse is sensitive, you can just pull it up and pull it down. Then you will be able to do that. Restart your Winifred, restart your Power BI and then come up to see the way it looks like. I believe you should have it. I should address those of you that are not getting the map. Why are you not getting the map? You tell me the reason why before I can. I'm not just going to be addressing everybody or giving a generic address to map not showing. My own map is bringing out what map will ever me. I finally have it. Good. I showed you soon. Okay, good. If your map is not coming up, what is showing? What did you have showing on that your what's it called now? What did you have on it? Vagella Taiwo, what did you have on it? On this visualization page, what did you have on it? Let's know what you have on it so that we know how we can help you. It's showing just state, no map. Did you select the correct visuals? This is this map. Is this map you chose? Is this map you chose? And then did you drag your state on the map? Don't mind me. I don't mind what I just did just now. Don't stress yourself. I'm coming back. Let me come back to where you guys are. This is where we are. Okay, good. Fumbi has it now. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. So every other person, please ensure you check. Maybe you do a recheck of the video, and then let's move on because we still have a lot of things. Now, did you see all these data points? Of course, this map is made possible because Microsoft Bing that is allow us to what have access to what happens around the world, and that is what Microsoft Bing, right? That's why we're able to access this map. Now, if you see all these data points, all these blue dots, you can also do what? If you click on these three dots, you see your what's it called now? This is your visualization plan, and this is also your what? Your what's it called now? Your format visuals. You can convert this to heat map to see it, and you see the heat map sign on it. Let's take it out. Now this is what title. You can edit. Let's edit more options, then come back to these options and then map settings. What are the kind of map settings? Style. You can have Arial. Did you see that? Did you see that? This is map styles. You can have Arial. You can have dark. Did you see that? You can have different styles. You can have light. You can have grayscale, and you can have road. So I think I personally prefer that I have area or dark mode. Just a minute. Area is nice. I also love it too. Okay, good. So now that we have been able to pick this area, what other thing can we do? You can also rename it to say that this title is what? Give it the title, states in what? In Nigeria or map of Nigeria. You see that? Then you can put it at the center. You can change the font, right? Then you can have some other things to hit, right? What other thing? Now the bubbles that we have now, can you see the size? You can increase the size. Did you see that? You can also select the color of the bubble. You can also select the color of the bubble. Did you see that? So all these functionalities are what you can do. Now, what other thing can we do with this our map? This our map still have some other things. Let's go back to our visualization pane now. Under our visualization pane on our data, we still have longitude and latitude, which shows population. Now, can we check or can we use this to check the population of those states based on what do they call them now? Based on the census that happened, right? The population commission, based on what they released to us, their values. Now, if we check the data, our map data, if you check our map data, you will see values under the population, both in 2006 and 2019. So can we check? Can we see what we can do with that? All right. So let's do something. A bubble size. Can you just click and drag and drop this on the bubble size? Can you see what happened? Can you see what I just saw now? Let me reduce my bubble size so that it doesn't enter my eye. All right, so I've reduced that. And now, based on what you click, if you actually put your cursor on any of those bubbles, it will tell you the exact location and then the sum of population in that year. Did you see that? Yes, thank you, Samaluko. It automatically increases the size of the bubble, right? So let's see what other thing we can do. That's one. Can we also bring it to, that's for 2019. Let's also have 2019. All right. So this is for 2019. All right. Now, as legend now, can we have something like this? Now, legend is showing us different color now. The bubble settings is not active. Why? Are you still ticking? Are you still checking on your map? Are you still on your map? All right. So I need to leave this map of a thing now so that we can start the other part of this class because by my time now, we have to do some other thing. Okay. All right. So now, if you have done this, I congratulate you. If you have not, I congratulate you because I know you will do it. Right. So what the legend is for is to show the if there are, let's say now maybe there are unique attributes that you want to also see in those years based on what you have on your table. Yes, legend has multiple colors. So if for instance you have maybe allocation for each or for some particular state and you want those allocations to come out in bubbles, like that is what you now put it under your legend. Or maybe you want to see something else more interesting. Legend is not functioning. It has to function. Your format is not highlighted because you have select your visual again and your format will highlight. Select your visual again and your format will highlight. All right, let's move on to the next thing. So let's say we are done with these particular visuals as well, and then we want to move to, I told you we are going to do a project run through. If you want us to finish this project run through now, we need to start now. Let me move to a new page. Now, you remember we all also have our what? We still have our HR data. We have our HR data, right? Now, let me click on the HR data. We have moved. In case you are still wondering where we are now in HR data. Now, I need people that will drop some one or two comments about what they notice about this HR data. What do you think is the introduction after working on Power BI and I click save? It will say unable to save document access. Now this is the reason is because probably you have changed the directory of your document where your Power BI is. If you have changed that directory, you will not be able to save your document. All right, so that means you will need to honestly cancel that work and then you will need to do it again because you have moved your directory. Else, if you can trace it back to the way it was, trace your directory, not probably your file. So it's saying that the document now access to drive C. Did you see that your document Power BI database is denied? So it's saying that you do not have access to it, probably because you cannot see that data. Yes, no data headings, no data defined. Yes, I know that's true. So what do you think? What is your understanding about what the data looks like? Yes, what do you think about the data? We're supposed to have something actually. Which Telegram group are you currently? Onyechukwu? Which Telegram group are you currently? It is the data of employees computed by HR department. Thank you so much, Olubukola Aziz. Interesting. Personnel data, HR analytics. Okay, marital status. A mixture of current and ex-employee data. Thank you for Akwe. Okay, I like that. All right, you guys are already checking. Attrition and retention record. Folani Yemisi, amazing. Thank you. Employee record, good. The demographic of employees, good. Employee information, okay. Staff roles and database, good. Onyechukwu, I have asked you, which Telegram group are you? I can't just send you a Telegram group link here. Which Telegram group are you? We need to identify you as one of our students. You can't just join our Telegram group without you being identified. So if you need access, if you don't have access to any of the data set we are working with, it means you are not probably getting the right information you need to get because all this information are shared on our LMS. All right. Yes, HR analytics that captures people's employment history. Thank you so much, Olalere Okoyemi. Attrition rate among employee. Okay, good. Data types of column 8, 14, 17, 22, etc. are not correct. Oh, really? Okay, if you say so. Mine is not showing to right from time. I drag the state. This is the data of employees in an organization. Okay, so I haven't been able to staff travel records. Okay. All right, good. Just a moment because I need to check. Now, I said that anytime we need to work with data, the first thing we need to do is what? Is to take our data to where? Transform data. So let's go transform this data and let's see what it looks like. Take your HR data to transform and let's see what it looks like. Now, can everybody see this now? So from my own data here, the first thing I think I can also see, just like some person that mentioned it, is that we notice that all our first columns, all our first columns are not headed, they are not the normal heading. Yes, Leo Nimba resources. If it says your data has been truncated due to space limits, that's correct. It has nothing to do with your data. It's just saying that the other things is not going to show the other data, but your data are correct. The Telegram group I am is Elita. I am in Incubator Hub, but nothing is happening there. Please send this your inquiry to the admin of that particular Telegram group that you have, which is Lita. Tell the admin of the group, and then they will request for your information, and then they will send you the right details. So you cannot do that in the class, but we're trying to do that. If nothing is happening in your group, that means you're in the wrong group. So send the message to an admin of the group, and then the community manager will take it up from there. So we don't have much time again. I think we need to run. We must start this particular phase. Now, the first thing you notice here is that all our column heading is showing column 1, column 2, column 3, and then we need to start analyzing our data, and then we can use that. So what is the first thing you think we need to do? Thank you, Gift Sazwa. Use your first row as header. That is what the first thing you do is promoted header. Now we have what? Our attrition is what? Now our headings, business travels, age band, attrition label, department, education field, employment number, employee number, gender, job role, marital status, overtime, year, and all and all and all and all, right? Now look at this. This date we want to work, or this data we want to work with. We want to column quality is 100, 3 distinct, 1 unique. Good. I like that. That's Showumi Abiola. You're already checking some of the things you need to see about your data. Now that we have checked and then we are sure all this is good. Basically, what we want to do with this, we want to make some visualization or a report. We want to build a report out of this data. Now, what do you think is the first thing we need to build from this report? Anybody? What do you think is the first thing we need to build from this report? Anybody? What do you think is the first thing we need to build from this report? Yes, anybody? Thank you, Adeyoshola Timothy. Total number of employee. Good. Fantastic. Total number of what? Employee. So how do we do that? So listen, please pay attention, guys. This is what I was saying the other time. So how do we do that? So for us to get the total number of the employees of this organization, so Esther, you say staff who travels frequently and those who rarely travel. Fine. Those are some of the things you need to check. But the first thing is what? Total number of employees. We are talking about the attrition of a particular organization as given by the HR, right? That's what somebody said the other time. So now let's what kind of visual okay, let me just do a quick brief showing of what our visualization look like. Now, if you look at this visualization, you see bar and what and column chart. Bar and column chart is used to check a particular dimension as against a period of time, right? Or values. That is that you have line chart, which you use your line chart, your area chart to check the trends of happenings. For instance, that particular what's it called now map that we have a value in 2006, and we had another in 2019, so we can check the trend of those 2 years. Then we have waterfalls, which is used to check the gauge, right? We have pie chart, donut chart. You will see us use some of these. So I will tell you a few of them that we want to use, and then of course slicers. We have slicers as well. So how do we get our total number of employees? What we are going to use is our what? Check our data here. Do we have what it takes, HR data, and then does any of the column on this table shows where we can get our employee count? Can we check? Can we check? If anybody is able to see it, just put the name at the comment section. Yes, where can we see it? Yes, anybody? What is the name of the column that we are going to use to get the total number of the employees? Employee count. Thank you. Employee count and number. Employee count actually basically. Of course, you can use employees number now, but you have to also understand what it means. So let's bring out our card. This is my card, and then I want to reduce some of this vision so that we can do some numbers of. Then I do my employee count. And then because my employee count is a sum, it can be a sum value. You remember, right? See, that's why it's having this summarized what option. So what do I do here? I turn off my category label because I want to format it to suit my own whatever. So I have it here. So guys, you guys can do this on your own, right? I'm just go ahead. I will do them, and then you see what I'm doing. Total total number of employee, right? Uh, so let me have a different column. Constant text color. Okay. So I'm going to center. I hope you guys are following. I hope you guys are following. I hope you guys are following. My call out value as well. Let me change the font. Constant bold, right, and then change the color as well to variant of this. Right. And then okay. Okay, there you go. So I want to also do some sort of if I got that video. So let me change my title color again. Okay, I think this is better. Don't mind my color combinations. You got 1K. So if you got 1K, so all you need to do is what? Go and change your under your display unit for your call out value. Change it from auto to none. Change it from auto to none, and then you get your value. Change it from auto to none. So that is what the first thing we have gotten here is what the total number of what of employee in that organization. Are we together now? So what other things do you think we want to see? Anybody? Now this is analysis. We are beginning our report. We are already building our report. Is color blocking? Yes. Don't mind my color. I have told you. Very ugly color combo. Thank you. Because of that person, let me really go and do my design. I don't want to give you some ideas about design actually, but let me go because of the person that said it's color blocking. So don't worry. You will understand by the time I'm done with my. Okay. Serious color blocking. Well done. I will wait and see your own. Don't worry. I will wait and see you people's whatever. Don't worry. Maybe it's a matter of time. I'll wait. So this is the total number of employees. So that means I'm done with this, right? Can you see now? I'm done with it. Now let me teach you guys one trick. Pay attention. Now what is the trick here? The trick here is this. If you click on your this design, you can copy and paste it. That means you have replicated the design and then you can put it side by side to say, okay, I want to just be like this. But then, what do you want to have on this place? So, what other question do you see? Do you think I've tried to communicate with the admin, but Telegram wouldn't permit me. Oh, really? You know what you do? So send an email and then state this issue to the incubator email. The same way you are getting, are you getting email from us? Oyiye Chukwu, if you are getting email from us, please send an email and then send us your full name, your email address, and then your class so that they can address it immediately. And then somebody will jump on it to attend to you on the Telegram. Thank you. I like that. Following. Here we see attrition rate. Very fantastic. Good. Attrition rate. But before we get attrition rate, do we even know the attrition count? Do we know the attrition count first? For us to get the attrition rate, we need what? The attrition count. Do you understand? So how do we get the attrition count? Let's get back to our table. Now, look at what our table looks. Our table has what? Attrition. So what is on this attrition? Now, if you check our table, and then on our table, attrition. On attrition, we see yes and no. How do we know the total number of attrition that we have? How do we know the total number of attrition that we have? Now, listen. So what it means is that attrition is yes, then attrition is also no. That means when attrition is yes, that means those guys have left the organization. And when attrition is no, that means they are still in the organization, right? Thank you. Yeah, please do that after the class and then you will get the response, please. So sorry about that. Okay. Right. So when attrition is yes, that means the person has left. And when attrition is no. Now, guys, I need you guys to do this thing. I need us to create a conditional column now. Create a conditional column, and then when you are done, you tell me I am done. Now, what is the condition you want to create? Create a conditional column to say if attrition is yes, put 1, else 0. Oh no, before you do that, hold on. Just before you do that, let me quickly teach you a step. There are two ways to it. Now, look at these visuals. Did you see these visuals? Do you see these visuals? Now, come to your, this is your visuals here. There is a place you will see Q and A. Where is my Q and A? Did you see my under my AI visuals? Under my AI visuals. Under my AI visuals, right? When you click on it, then it's saying preparing the QA question. Now, what this does for you is that you can also type your question to ask about your data. Please pay attention, guys. You can also type your questions. Now, it's saying that I should ask my question, right? My question is a count of attrition. Yes, because I want to see the count of attrition. Yes. If I say count of attrition, yes. Now, it will suggest some questions to me. Did you see this? But this is not what I want. Can you see now? This is what count of attrition, yes. It suggests it to me, and I click it, and I say, you will now see this box. There is this box right in front. Say convert your what? Turn this Q and A result into a standard visual. Turn this Q and A result into standard visual. Then you click yes. Then you have this. Did you see what you have now? Then you drag it close until you have your visual. Did you see total number of attrition that I have now? Did you see the total number of attrition that I have? Soft work. I like that. Wahoo. So can we also use this? Okay, you have to go to your this thing and change your headings now. Don't forget. You have to rename it and say total number of attrition. Total number of attrition, right? Go to this, come here, more options. Then my title is what? Total number of what? Attrition, right? You see that total number of attrition. Now, guys, can we also use this to check? Thank you. I have just done that already. So can we also use to check the total number of current employee? Can we use this to check the total number of current employee? Using your Q and A, can we check the total number of current employee? Can anybody do that and then tell me the total number of current employee at the comment section? Yes, yes, yes. Anybody? So what I want to do now is total number of current employee. There are two ways I can do it actually. If you check your table, you will see that there is a column for current employee actually. If you check your table, you will see that what is it now? CF of current employee, right? CF of current employee. So this CF of current employee, if you click and drag it and put it here, though I asked us, thank God the thing has not even answered. Yes, thank you. Akinlabi Adetoke 1233. Good. Vicky 1233. So let's see. Let's see whether they are correct. Okay. This has to be a card. Current employee. Um, okay, employee count. This is what I mean, not this. This one is not giving me what I want actually. It's 1233, right? Okay. I'm looking for a particular. Now, employee count. Let me check my table. Just a moment. There is a column on the table that shows them. Let's see. Okay. Yes, employee count should employee count. Okay, okay, good. Now we should get it from here. Okay, is he saying it as I'm talking just a minute. So let me do my control CV. My count of let me use the same question that I use. There's a way I use my question the other time. I was just going to check for that other one. Count of employee, no, right? Let me do question and then let's do count of attrition. No. Did you see that? Count of attrition, no. Then convert it to visuals. Then it has given us our value. Did you see that? So count total number of what? Then I edit this. Yes, current employee will do that actually. Total number of current employee. Now, listen, guys. I know they're already telling me it's few minutes to go. I get it. Yes, that's the reason. I think duplicating the Q and A is why it won't work. Okay, thank you so much, Ibukun. I got that. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Thank you, guys. I like that. You guys are really, really following me. Good, 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 good. Now, please listen up, guys. We have been able to use Q and A, but I want us to use. Is it possible we use our conditional column? Because in the case, let me ask you a question. How do you think we can calculate the rate of attrition? What is the rate of attrition? Can anybody tell me the rate of attrition? Can anybody tell me the rate of attrition? Or how do we calculate the rate of attrition? Anybody, anybody, anybody? What do you think will be the rate of attrition here? I'm waiting, nobody saying anything. What do you think will be the rate of attrition? Because some of us mentioned that we can also check the rate of attrition. So the rate of attrition here, because nobody is saying anything, is that we will check the number of attrition by the total number of employees, right? Right? The number of attrition by the total number of what? Employees. So just a moment, please. All right. Now, the rate of attrition will be what? The attrition count by the total number of employee, and that will give us the rate of attrition, right? But do we have the total number of attrition? Yes, we do. But can we use it to get the total number? No, we can't. You know why we can't? Because the attrition count is not a value. on the table. I hope you are paying attention. It's not a value on the table, but rather it is something we just called out. So how can we make it a value on the table? Now, guys, listen. These are approaches, or these are things you need to do. Oh, really? So you guys have actually dropped messages. It's just coming now. Thank you. I saw it now. 237 over. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Thank you. You guys dropped it really. So it was my network that was actually messing up. Okay, good. So now what do we need to do? This is what we need to do. So we need to create a conditional column. Pay attention, guys. We need to create a conditional column. And that conditional column, what do we need it to do for us? We will say that check if attrition equals yes, put what? 1. Else, put 0. Since what we need is the count of attrition, and then we want to make it a measure value. All right, we want to make it what? A measure value. So can we go ahead and do that now? Bring out your conditional column. Let me just hide this one here. Let me hide this one also here. So let me go to my what? My transform state. Let me transform my data. And then now, under my transform data, I come to what? Add column. Did you see that? Then come to conditional column. All right. Now, under our conditional column, we want to say that if attrition equals what? Yes, right? Don't forget, you must write it the exact way it is in your table. You must write it the exact way it is in your table. Then put what? 1. Else, put what? 0. All right? Else, put 0. So I'm saying that if anywhere you see attrition equals yes, create a column and then put 1 in front of it. Else, put 0. So let's click OK. And then did you see it now? Did you see it now? So here I have a column that is saying 1 and 0, 1 and 0. Can we rename this column? Let's rename this column as what? Attrition count. Attrition count. And then let's change our data type to what? To numbers. Let's change our data type to what? To all numbers. You see that now? To all numbers. So now that we have that as attrition count as all numbers and these as this. So we can come back here now. We can do close and apply. Then you realize that somewhere on our table, we have a value that is showing attrition count now. Somewhere on our table, we have somewhere on our table, if you check, can you see now? Attrition count. Does this make sense now? So this attrition count now, we can now easily bring it out as our visual. So let me copy this and paste this. Right? And then I can now bring in what? My visuals. I can now remove this. Then bring in what? Attrition count. Did you see that now? Makes sense. Good. Good. So now, so that means we have been able to create a count of attrition on our table. We have been able to create what? A count of attrition on our table. Just like we have what? Let me now delete this one because this one is more better for me because I can make subsequent reference to this table. The next thing I want to do is this. Let me check for my total number of current employee. I need to change this heading, right? Change this heading to what? Attrition count. Title, total number of what? Attrition count. Right? Total number of attrition count. And then we'll come to this one. This one will now be what? Total number of current employee. So we'll come to our table as again, remove this, then add your data, come and add your data. Then we have a current employee, and then we have our values now. Did you see that? Did you see that now? Did you change your data type? Why is mine returning zero only? Shakirat, you might need to check the way you input your yes and no. If you input your yes and no as maybe capital letter or small letter, check the way it is written. It is capital letter YES. And then capital. Does that make sense now? All right. So I think we need to just wrap it up here so that we can continue from the next class. So what we want to Okay, great. Thank you, Shakirat. It's fine now. All right, guys. We'll call it a night and then we can continue subsequently in our next class. Any other question, please just drop it at the Telegram group and then we'll take it up from there. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night rest. Thank you.